I'm Caitlin E, and welcome back to the Lit Review. Today, we're filming March LitLand. That's right. This is my board game TBR that I have been playing for the last almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in April, so real close on 2 years. Wow, that's weird. The game is fun. So what we've done, I've listed all the complete rules down for you in the description box below. I may make some modifications or changes as we go, depending on my needs as a reader. But in general, the rules stay the same. In this instance, I pick 4 cards that each have a color attached to them, and each color is associated with a genre. And we make our way across the board in the hopes of a book haul. This game was loosely inspired by Candyland, but has grown so much from there into its own little thing. And it's my favorite way of picking my TBR. As with all of these videos, I like to say a quick thank you to Becca from Becca and the Books and Cody from Cody's Book Corner, who I think really popularized the whole TBR book game genre. But to all of you too who make your own TBR games, this community is so amazing. So thank you to all of you who watch my videos and who make your own TBR games, because it's one of the funnest things about being in this booktube community. What I like to do first is kind of tell you how I did last month, how that affects the game, and if there are any other readathons or challenges that I'm trying to accomplish this month. So let's start with the bad news. We're going to be taking 3 punishments this month, which is kind of a big deal because I only pull 4 cards, so we're really only pulling 1 card that will impact my movement across the board. But, I deserved it. It's fine. I had 3 books that I had to complete as rollover books, and they were Brandon Sanderson's Skyward, Emily M. Danforth's Plain Bad Heroines, and Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. As you can see with these 2, maybe you can, I'm not sure, they still have bookmarks in them, so I kind of just stalled out with both of them. I didn't finish these, so because I didn't finish them in 2 months, I need to pull a punishment square card, which will have a prompt on it that I must meet. I'm not gonna get rid of these. I would very much like to finish these books at some point. I'm not really in the mood to read serious literary fiction or historical horror. So it's just been really hard for me to want to pick them up, even though I'm enjoying the reading process for both. I did start Brandon Sanderson's Skyward, and I think I can finish this before the end of the month, or at least make enough progress to wrap it within a day or so of the end of February. So I'm gonna call this done. But that's all well and good, but that was my TBR from January. Those were my rollers from January. Did I make any progress on the things I was supposed to read for February? No, not really. I have these 5 books here that are gonna roll over into March, and we're just gonna hope that I can at least get these done in March. I really do like my rollover system. Normally it works much more efficiently than this, but these first couple of months of the year, I've really been just so much of a mood reader that it's hard for me to stick to a concrete TBR. I still love selecting my TBRs this way. I've been much more impulsive, trying to meet my emotional needs or my mental needs at the time, and letting what sounds interesting to me guide my reading. I think that's really a great thing to do in general, and I do think I can eventually get back to a more even keel where there's more balance between my official TBR and that mood reading. But these first couple of months have been a little tricky, and that's okay. So just for your reminder, I need to finish Flirting with Forever by Kara Bastone, When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole, We Were Feminists Once, a nonfiction by Andy Ziesler, Neon Gods by Katie Roberts, and Love by the Book by Melissa Pimentel. I already have 5 books I need to read in March. We'll see how that goes, because I am participating in the Greek Goddess-on all throughout March. I am one of 14 co-hosts for the Greek Goddess-on and representing the team Hermes, which is great because my team gets to read a short book. So it may not be any of those because those don't look particularly short, but at least I'll be able to go through some things faster. Let's see, my book club, the Book Covered Book Club, which you'll have seen the announcement for. If I can find a book cover that has texture, because March March's theme is to have some kind of visual texture like crumpled paper or fabric as a key component of the cover design. So maybe I'll be able to make that work. And then the buzzword for March is locations. So countries, cities, specific spaces that are in the title. So I'll see if I can get that in there, but that's kind of a lower priority for me right now. Okay, so there's not going to be as much board footage because we do have to pull punishment cards. But the fun thing about me having to take all these punishments is that I will actually be able to pick from outside of the wrapping that I've been doing over the last couple of months. If this is your first time checking in with me, at the end of last year, I wrapped 30-something books, or I should say specifically my partner Jeremy wrapped 30-something books, a mix of his selections and mine for books I should have read in 2021. That was too many. I've learned from that lesson, but I am committed to finishing it. So I still have a lot of books to unwrap as part of these TBRs. So the punishments are going to be my own picks, which is at least something. Just a quick review. We left our porcelain friend Wilbur the pig right there from last month. And these were the cards that we were dealt last time. The last one was this blue one here, which is why Wilbur is there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these on our discard pile there. This over here is our shuffled deck. Not recently reshuffled, but shuffled from the start of the game. We have our challenge squares here in pink. The green are our stuck squares or punishment squares, which you already know we're going to have to take 3 of today. But if we were to land on one of the dots, that would also be relevant. And then the troll bridge cards, the ones over here in blue, are relevant for the like little rainbow ones, the rainbow things, or the cost of crossing a bridge. So we only have one board game card pull, but we do need to pull for our 3 punishments. So let's go ahead and do that. Only words on the cover. Okay. This one says only words on the cover. So this, that is hard. When I think of books that have only words on the cover, I often associate that with nonfiction more than any other genre, because there's usually, whether it's a print or texture or something, there's usually more than just the words on the cover. So I'm gonna go look at my nonfiction shelf, which I think is like back here, and there's another one back there. So we're gonna see what we can find. So I feel a little shy sharing this, and I'm gonna share it because I'm shy in an attempt to not be. I've been flirting with the idea of trying to sit down and write something. I'm not sure what yet, and I'm not sure if I did write it, if it would ever see the light of day, but you know, just for my own joy, my own bucket list kind of thing. So with that goal in mind, I'm going to choose Character, The Art of Role and Cast Design for Page, Stage, and Screen by Robert McKee. Robert McKee is this kind of like guide to character creation, to story creation. Usually his work applies to screenplays, though I think they're also very applicable to writing like long form fiction as well. So this one is all about character. I believe his other 2 are like story and dialogue, and they're kind of always in hardback. Like they've never really gone into paperback. Like he just sells these things so well. So I'm curious, just because it's so prolific, or he's so prolific as an author, but this one is exactly what the cover says it is. It is about character. So you can see here that it's like all words. I think maybe the fact that it's red could count as something, but like this, there's no other design here. So I think this fits our challenge. All right, punishment number 2. Second chance for a low-rated book. I made these. Why am I mad? This is second chance for a low-rated book. Candidly, I do not rate things terribly low very frequently. You're gonna see mostly 3-star ratings as like the low point on this channel. Occasionally I dip into 2.5 or 2-star ratings, but those are because I think the craft was not there, or it did something at a narrative level that just really upset me. If I ever rate something at a 1 star, it is with conviction. It is with deep mistrust, distrust, and dislike. So giving one of these books a second chance is tricky. I think another way I could potentially interpret this prompt are things that I read a chunk of and DNF'd and chose not to rate. So I just like abdicated from the rating process because I really actually don't want to put myself through rereading a 1 star. That's not going to be good. So I'm gonna kind of tweak this, but I think the spirit of the prompt will still be met. For those of you who think I'm being too easy on myself, I will choose a book that I DNF'd with some aggression. And that I am very reluctant to try again, and that is going to be Guild by Raven Kennedy. I was going through things that I gave really low ratings to or DNF'd in the last year or so, and that one popped up and caught my eye because I've been rereading some of Raven Kennedy's other work and was reminded of how much I love her other work. So Guild is a dark-ish fantasy romance that is loosely inspired by the Greek myth of King Midas. So I also wanted to pick this one with Greek Godathon going on in March, because at least that's a Greek myth. I'm kind of trying to pile things up here and make this punishment a bit more palatable for myself. I'm really scared about rereading this, but I've heard that you kind of have to get through the Stockholm Syndrome first book before the series itself really gets good. And I just finished the Heart Hassle series in February from Raven Kennedy. So I want to believe in her so bad because I love that series so much. Oh my gosh, I'm already so stressed. Let's see, punishment number 3, which by the way, I don't think I explained. 2 of the punishment cards are because I just didn't finish my rollover books. One of them is because I bought more than 3 books in the month of February. I aggressively bought more than 3 books. So I will be doing a book haul for you soon. As soon as the last little bits of my ordering come in. But yeah, I bought quite a few things in February, more than my allotted 3 books. Hence the punishment card, because I'm trying to reel my spending in, not do what I did this month, and cast it out to sea. So that's what the third one's for. One-word title. Oh, okay. This one is a little tricky, but not terrible, and that's one-word title. There are a lot of options for one-word title. The first thing that actually comes to mind is Circe by Madeline Miller, which I haven't read yet, and I know that would be great for the Greek Godathon, but I also have no way of knowing what is going to be my next card that I actually pull for the board. And I'd really like to make sure that I can, add in an author who isn't white. I would love another perspective in my TBR, and unfortunately, that would not be met by Circe. So I'm gonna go look at my shelves back here and see what I can find in the one-word title that is, LGBT or BIPOC author or neurodivergent author. I want something. Okay, this is actually perfect. It may not be Greek inspired, but it is definitely inspired by myth and legend, and that's going to be Legendborn by Tracy Dion. So this is a Owl Crate exclusive edition. This is inspired by Arthurian legend, a completely more modern take. It's a whole new take on that Arthurian legend, where Legendborns are basically training to fight demons, I believe. But there's a lot of familiar names and Arthurian takes on this. So I don't know terribly much, but I know secret societies, I know magic, I know a young grief-stricken woman who's finding her own way. Demons, to me that's enough. To me that's enough to really intrigue me. I hear really, really good things about this book, so I'd love to be able to take this one off the shelves and give it a go. Okay, so let's actually pull a card. I only get one card pull this month, which is probably for the best since I still have to read those 5 other books. Ah, nice. One red. Boop. That's it for this time. Kind of a disappointing run here, but hopefully better next month. Okay, so I'm very happy for multiple reasons with where we ended up. So one red, which is romance, which means that one, sadly we did not progress very far across the board, just the one square, but that's okay. But honestly, I'm so far behind on my TBR that this is not such a bad thing. This also means that we are going to unwrap the last of my wrapped romances. I only have one left, so the choice is very easy. It also looks like it might be a short book, which would be great for the Greek Godathon. So again, to catch you up here, I have like 30-something or had 30-something of these wrapped at the start of January, and we'll be continuing to unwrap them. Romance is going to be the first category that we finish together, which is super exciting. Some of these are my picks from things I wish I had read in 2021, and some of them are Jeremy's picks from him just browsing my shelves and seeing what was up. So I have no idea what this one is at this point, because I've forgotten, but very excited. And this also means that from here on out, if we hit any more red picks, I get to completely hit free reign, which is nice. Oh, heck yeah. This is definitely one I've been meaning to read like in 2021, but also before that too, and that's Zenny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Zenny has been on my radar for a while, and this is technically a companion novel, so you could read this as a standalone, which is how I intend to do it, but I believe this is also connected to her book Rafe. But the cover says A Marriage of Inconvenience. So our main character, Zenny, has 10 days to clean out her recently departed aunt's colonial estate, but through some complications with the will and the estate ruling, Zenny basically has to get married in order to get her portion of the estate. And her dearly departed aunt is still meddling with her life because she had a groom in mind. The ruggedly handsome and deliciously thick 2 C's Scotsman who showed up at her aunt's memorial, bagpipes at the ready. So Sable, our thick Scotsman, is also needs a portion of the inheritance in order to be able to safely return to Scotland. So they both have reasons to go ahead with this. I hear really amazing things about Zenny. I also hear really good things about the body positivity or like fat rep, curvy rep in this book from both Zenny and Sable. While I think it's more common that we're seeing curvy heroines in our romance books, it's not as common to see a range of body diversity in our heroes. So I'm excited to give this a try. I hear nothing but good things about it, like I've said before. And the cover is so cute and bright, and just, I do want to pick this up. So I'm really excited to be able to add this to the TBR. The official TBR for March is going to be these 3 here: Zenny, Character, and Legendborn, with the addition of the ebook that I can pick up on KU for Guild. So this is like the good stuff for March. Unfortunately, I also desperately need to read these 5 things. So a total of 9 for the month of March. I've been reading a lot in the last couple of months, so that's not a crazy idea. It's just actually prioritizing the things that need to get prioritized. And that's the trick. So these are the ones that might actually get me in trouble next month. So I may try to breeze through several of these. So I think the easiest one to get off of this stack is actually Neon Gods by Katie Robert because of the Hades Persephone retelling. It'll fit in really well with the Greek Godathon. So I think that'll work out for me. Other than that, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I am really excited by this spread, even though it's a lot. So if you have read any of the new books to my selection, it's particularly if you have reassuring words to tell me about Guild, please let me know down in the comments below. Please. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have a fantastic reading day. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me or this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!